today I have some tips and tricks for you guys that will help you find all these hard to find items from Louis Vuitton. And throughout all the videos on my channel, I have talked about these tips and tricks. And since then, I've gotten so many feedbacks from you guys saying that it worked for you and that the tips were really helpful, and then you guys were able to get something that you guys were waiting for a really long time. And that honestly makes me so happy. And that's why I wanted to put together all the tips and tricks that I have into one video that you guys can refer back to every now and then, or every time you feel like that you need to look back and have some tips. So here it is, here's that video. I've been meaning to do this video for a really long time, and now is the perfect time, and I'm really excited. I hope you guys are as well. And for today's video altogether, I have 7 tips plus a bonus tip to give at the end, which is so big, so huge, and I'm sure you guys have not gotten that tip before. So like I said, I'm very excited. I hope you guys are as well. And on that note, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do me a favor and subscribe to my channel by hitting the red button down below. I would very much appreciate that. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back and watching my videos. I very much appreciate it. And now without further ado, let me get started with my very first tip for today's video. Oh, and before we get started with the tips, I really want to quickly say that all the tips and tricks that I'm going to be mentioning today are something that has worked for me. I'm basically sharing all these things from my personal experience, and just keep in mind that just because something worked for one person does not mean that it'll for sure work for another person. So just be mindful of the fact that I'm basically just sharing all of this from my experience and just hoping that just because it worked for me, that it'll also work for you. The very first tip I have for you guys is to make sure that you have your LV account created under the LV website. Now I feel like everybody has mentioned this tip here and there, and that is because it's just so important. You want to make sure that you have the LV account created just so that it's going to make everything so much faster when you're ready to check out something and when you're ready to buy something. And on the same note, you also want to make sure that you have your credit card saved under this LV account, because once again, when you're ready to check something out, when you have finally found that really hard to find item, you don't want to miss it. Because let's say if you don't have your LV account created, or if you don't have this credit card information put into it, by the time you do all of that, it's just gonna take so long, and then it's possible that the item that you've been waiting for or the item that you have added into your cart is just not available to be purchased. So make sure that you have your LV account created and your credit card information added and ready to go for the time when you're ready to check something out. So my tip number 2 once again has something to do with the Louis Vuitton website. So here we are on the main page of the Louis Vuitton website, and up in the corner you can see that I have my wish list, and then I have my profile, and then I have some things in the cart. So I'm going to quickly click on my wish list just to show you what it looks like. So here you can see that I have 18 items in my wish list. I usually don't have this many things, but I quickly added things just to show you guys. So here in the wish list you can see everything at a glance that I'm interested in, and then the advantage this has is that you can see everything at a glance, and then you can click on each item to see if it's available and ready to be placed in cart. So here for example, Pochette Matisse is available to be placed on cart. So what I can do is I can quickly just click on it, and then that directly goes into my cart, and then it's just easy checkout. So I think this comes really handy if you're looking for multiple things at a time. Then all you have to do is just come back and come to your wish list, and then you can just quickly scroll through and see if any one of them is available, and if it is, then you can just check it out. The third tip I have for you guys is make sure you talk to your SA and let your SA know that you are looking for, or you're on a hunt for a particular item. And obviously that does not guarantee that you'll be able to get this item through your SA, but I feel like it really helps. You want to put the word out there, make sure that your SA knows, so that just in case the item comes in, because there's often times that these items do come into the store in the bulk, so then your SA can make sure that you are the first one to get your hands on it. My next tip is to add the item to your favorites. And what I mean by this is you want to make sure that you add the link to the particular item that you're looking for, or the particular item that you're hunting down, into your favorites on your browser. So what that does is it's gonna make your life so much easier. You can just quickly click on it, and then it's gonna take you directly on that page and show you if it's available or not. I have done this so many times. I have so many things added to my favorites on my browser. If you open my browser, you'll see like all the Louis Vuitton tabs up at the top. In fact, all the hard to find items that I've gotten, at one point or the other, I had them added to my favorites. My next tip is do not assume. That's right, do not assume. And I say that because you don't want to assume that just because it's a particular time of day or particular hour of the day that something is not going to be available. If you talk to client services, they'll often tell you things like, oh, in the mornings it's usually available, early afternoons it's a good time, it's available. And although that might be true, I'm gonna tell you from my experience that the times when I was able to order all of these hard to find items was actually a very bizarre time. And I'm gonna give you an example of my Pochette accessoire. I was able to order that bag at midnight, and I was literally going to sleep that day. And just before going to sleep, I thought, why not let me just quickly check if it's available. Same thing, I had added onto my favorites list up on my browser, and I clicked on it, it was available, and I quickly added to my cart and I checked out. So that's what I mean, guys, that don't assume that just because it's a particular time of the day that something is not going to be available. You just really never know. So don't assume, and try all times, all day, just whenever you can. Now, before we move on to the bonus tip, my last tip is that be sure that you're really fast at checkout. And this ties me back to my very first tip that I said that you need to make sure that you have an Alma account and your credit card inputted into that account ready to go. Because if you're not fast at the checkout, by the time you input all the information and get to the final stage where it says place an order, your item that you had initially put into the cart may not be available. And honestly, this has happened to me so many times. So I think this is really, really important that make sure that you're super fast at checkout. And it's obviously a lot of work and a lot to think about, but I feel like once you kind of get into the zone and once you have done it for a couple of times, it's gonna come so handy. And I think like your brain is just gonna know that you have to do this really quickly. So your brain will just quickly place into the cart, like next, and then check out. So hopefully that makes sense. And now we're on to the bonus tip. And if you're still with me, please give this video a big thumbs up, like it down below, and also subscribe to my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. But like I said, it's time now for the bonus tip. And my bonus tip for today's video is that Christmas time is the best time to get all these hard to find items. I think I've said that on my channel so many times in the past, that during the Christmas time, for some reason, I just end up seeing all these hard to find items pop up so much. I recently got my mini Pochette. I'm gonna link the video up here, so check it out. But I recently got my mini Pochette, and even after ordering my mini Pochette, I saw it become available on the website so many times. Like repeatedly it was available. It's like it was just calling my name and saying like, buy me. You know what I mean? It's kind of funny to say, but trust me guys, the Christmas time is really the perfect time. In fact, I visited Louis Vuitton store the other day, and I was just amazed to see how many bags they had on the floor. They had so many bags available, even all these hard to find bags that otherwise you don't see available on the website or even in the store. They had all those bags, and it was just amazing to see a huge collection. Now, speaking of that, I also heard from my SE that it's kind of hard to get Speedy and Neverfull during the Christmas time, and that is because they're the most popular gift choices. So if you're looking for Speedy or Neverfull, then just keep in mind that it may be a little bit difficult to get even during Christmas times, but both of these bags are really not that hard to get. I think all year around you have a pretty good chances of getting these bags anyways, so it's not a big deal. And that being said, it really does it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. As usual, I always enjoy talking to you guys. I hope that these tips work for you, and I hope that you are able to get the bag that you're looking for or an SLG that you're looking for. Let me know in the comment box down below if you have a tip that I haven't covered in this video and something that worked for you in the past. I would just really love to hear. I love connecting with you guys. So drop me a message, say hi. On the same note, do add me on Instagram. I'm gonna leave my Instagram handle up on the screen for you. So follow me there, say hi, message me. I love interacting with you guys. And yeah, that does it for today's video. I'll see you guys now in my next video very soon. Till then, take care, stay safe, bye.